G'day guys, how's it going? I'm AZAWorldTV and this is AZAWorld Sport, where each week I talk about various different news, stories and topics from within the world of sport, but predominantly football. And just when I was getting ready to start doing all my Premier League preview videos and build-up videos to the new season, England announced that Sam Allardyce is their new manager, taking over from Roy Hodgson following that diabolically terrible Euro 2016 campaign, which of course Hodgson resigned from. Thank God, because otherwise you'd be getting the sack anyway. Now, is this a good appointment? I'm actually quite optimistic about it. I know it's very much 50-50 as to whether or not people like it or not, but I think Big Sam can bring something that we can get excited about. He is, in my opinion, he's a more proven Premier League manager than Roy Hodgson was. Now, I've said before, I didn't think Hodgson deserved the job at the time that he got it, but I think Allardyce has proven that he can stabilise teams in the Premier League and make them solid Premier League teams. He obviously has never been relegated, which is another fantastic thing. And maybe that means that he can use that experience of that high pressure that he's been involved in, where those teams have been down at the bottom, and it has been a case of keeping that team up or keeping that team down or sending that team down. He's always managed to keep them up. So there's proof there that he can handle pressurised situations, which is great. And there is also evidence to suggest that he does bring out the best in fairly average players. He's a good man manager. I mean, you look at the Sunderland squad that he's just kept up, it's a pretty average squad. But at the end of the season, Jermaine Defoe was one of the highest goal scorers in the Premier League. Now, does that mean Jermaine Defoe's an average player? I didn't think he was an average player in the first place. I think Defoe's a good, solid Premier League striker. But before that, they weren't really scoring goals. And I thought they were dead set to go down. It was only when Allardyce took over that I thought, well, Sunderland have just booked themselves in the Premier League for next season. And he almost has that effect on every single club he goes to. All right, it hasn't worked out for him at Newcastle in the past. And towards the end of his West Ham career, or West Ham time at the club, it didn't really work out for him. But before that, West Ham were a yo-yo team. They were going up and down every couple of years. And again, he's stabilised them and he's taken them to that level that we now see them at, where Bilic took over from him and has taken it further. So, all right, he wasn't the best manager in West Ham's history, but he did do you a good, solid job. And I think that's something that's always important to remember. So can he do that with England? I think he can. Is he going to play the best football in the world? Probably not. But does that really matter right now? We seem to be so focused on England need to play amazing football. England need to play this way. England need to play that way. How about we just get back to winning games, like competitive games? Because when was the last time? All right, I know people are going to say, oh, but we beat Wales. Well, that's great. But, the last few tournaments, we haven't got that many wins. We've been embarrassed at the last 3 tournaments at least. And that's going back even, I don't want to go back further because it just gets depressing. But I mean, we've been humiliated at the last few tournaments. And I would just like an England team to look properly set up. And first of all, just be hard to beat. Because, we saw against Iceland, we just fell apart. So if Allardyce can do that and make us a solid team again, then I think even if he is only there for 2 years, if he can get us a solid formation and get players knowing what their role is within the team, because at the Euros, let's face it, players were played out position, no one seemed to know what they were doing, then I think that's him doing a good job for England. No, he doesn't have any major kind of international experience, but neither did Chris Coleman, and I think that's an important thing to remember. Chris Coleman hadn't had the best club managerial career, yet look at what he's done for Wales. So, for me, if Chris Coleman can do such a fantastic job for Wales, then why can't Sam Allardyce do such a fantastic job for England? Are there other people that should have got the job over him? From an English standpoint, I can't really think of any. My first pick, and a few people are probably going to think I'm a bit mental, I would have thrown all the money in the world at Sir Alex Ferguson and seen if he would have become like a director of football or the England manager for a while, because it's not like a full-time job, if you know what I mean. Yes, you got to develop the academies and coordinate with the under-19s, 20s, 21s, and so on and so forth. But it is going to Premier League games every week. It's not like you're coaching the entire time, which is a reason why I would have gone for him. But he is Scottish, and he has said before how much he really doesn't want the England job. So that's just me living in a fantasy world. I think Rafa Benitez would have been another good choice for England manager. He's got good experience in Europe, obviously in England as well. He knows how to manage good quality England players like Steven Gerrard in the past. But I do think Benitez is about to start something very special at Newcastle. So I can completely understand why he didn't take the job, or why the FA probably didn't even approach him in the first place. So yeah, I'm excited about Allardyce. I think he is going to bring something good to the England frame. But knowing England, I'm probably going to look back on this video in a few years and just be trolled and trolled and trolled by everyone. Hopefully that's not the case though, and hopefully, as Allardyce said, he can just make us proud and happy to support England again, because it's been so depressing the last few years. So yeah, they're my thoughts on Sam Allardyce. Do you agree? Are you guys happy that Allardyce is the England manager, or did you want someone else? If so, who? Please comment below and let me know. I'm AZAWorldTV, and I will see you again soon.